Hi, good morning. My name is Janani Kalichilvan and my matrix number is 203336 and this is my sister. Her name is Tasha Rini. So today in this video I'll be explaining to her about neurulation and vesiculation. So shall we start?
Yeah.
So before entering to neurulation, I just want you to know about embryogenesis or embryology. So basically when fertilization occurs, sperm and ovum will fertilize. Once they already fertilize, the cell is known as zygote.
Okay.
So this zygote will divide and become embryo. So this embryo will divide and become fetus, and it will eventually become a baby. So during this process, there is a process called gastrulation. Gastrulation means it's a folding of a cell or dividing of cells, which creates two layers of cells, meaning there is, before gastrulation there is blastulation or blastula. Blastula is a single layer of cells. So later on it will go to gastrulation, where it involves the blastula folding it upon itself or dividing, which creates two layers of cells. So if you see gastrulation here, this is the gastrula.
Okay.
So in this cell, you can see the outermost cell is known as ectoderm. The middle cell is known as mesoderm, and the inner part of cell is known as endoderm. So these cells, these layers created by the gastrulation becomes germ cells, germ layer or specialized tissue, which will produce organs or specific parts of the organisms. So endoderm basically it will produce the guts and its related organs, while ectoderm, the outermost layer, create the skin and nervous system. Okay, so now in this video we are going to look at the neurulation, right? So this neurulation, it involves ectoderm. So neurulation, the meaning of neurulation is the folding process in vertebrate embryo. Vertebrate means backbone.
Okay.
Yeah, your backbone. Vertebrate embryos, which includes the transformation of the neural plate into the neural system. Basically, neurulation is the production of nervous system, because embryo is just a cell, you know.
Okay.
So it doesn't have the organs yet. So neurulation is the process where the nervous system is produced in the embryo. So nervous system consists of your brain and your spinal cord. Okay. So basically we are going to see the transformation of the neural plate in the like here, neural plate to the neural tube. So firstly, once fertilization occurs in day 17, ectodermal proliferation occurs. Ectodermal proliferation okay, ectodermal proliferation leads to neural plate. It produces neural plate. Okay, while mesodermal derived cell is known as notochord. If you see this diagram here, we have notochord here. Notochord is basically derived from the mesoderm cell, the middle layer. While here we have neural plate border and ectoderm. So basically what happens is that neuroectodermal tissues differentiate from the ectoderm and thicken into the neural plate. So neural ectodermal tissue, which is the ectodermal layer of here, this tissue, it will differentiate and produce more cells. So later on, this one will thicken, it will become thick and produce neural plate here. Okay, so the neural plate border separates the ectoderm from the neural plate. This is the border, neural plate border. You can see here, this border, it separates the neural plate and the ectoderm at this side. Okay. Then later on, what will happen is that the central part of the neural plate is pulled down. So now you can see this diagram. It is like this, right? It hasn't go to the U shape yet. So in the second part, this neural plate, it will be pulled down, forming this U shape. Okay, so the neural plate bends with two ends eventually joining at the neural plate borders, which are now referred to as neural crest. So now, if you see, this one is known as the neural folds. This is neural groove, and this is the neural crest. Okay? Then later what will happen is that around in day 18 like that, The closure of the neural tube disconnects the neural crest from the epidermis. Neural crest cells differentiate to form most of the peripheral nervous system. Now, this one, it will develop and specialize and become the neural tube. Okay. Then the notochord degenerates. The notochord degenerates and only persists as the nucleus of the invertebral disc. Other mesoderm cells differentiate into the skeletal muscle and so on. So from this process, you can see that the neural plate, the transformation of the neural plate, this one, into the neural tube. Yes, exactly. So this is the first process.
Okay.
Now we are going to move on to the vesiculation. So you know, right, nervous system is basically spinal cord and brain. So in this vesiculation, we are going to look at how the brain is formed.
Okay.
Okay, so we ended with the formation of neural tube, right?
Yeah.
So moving on. Here, okay, before that, our neural tube, this is the neural tube. So the upper part of the neural tube is known as cranial or anterior. And the lowest part or the below one is known as the caudal or posterior. So now, for the formation of the brain, so this is the neural tube, right? So this neural tube will differentiate and will appear three primary brain vesicles. So this one, it will differentiate and it will divide and bring the three primary brain vesicles. So here you can see the vesicles and all. So the upper part is known as prosencephalon, which is the forebrain. The middle part is known as mesencephalon, which is the midbrain, and this part, the below one, is known as rhombencephalon, which is the hindbrain. So this one will proliferate and specialize. They will divide and break to different pieces. So this prosencephalon, it will develop into telencephalon and diencephalon. So this one will divide into these two. And this diencephalon, at the end, it will become your thalamus, hypothalamus and epithalamus of your brain.
Okay.
Then the mesencephalon will remain as mesencephalon, which is your midbrain. And then the rhombencephalon, the hindbrain, it will develop into metencephalon and myelencephalon. Metencephalon will become cerebellum of your brain, and myelencephalon will become the medulla of your brain.
Okay.
Okay, so the below part, which is the caudal part,
Spinal cord.
yeah, this one is your spinal cord. Okay, so this is how your brain is developed in the vesiculation.
Alright.
Okay, so now let's move on to neural crest cell differentiation. So this is your neural crest, right? So this neural crest will differentiate and migrate and turn to bunch of different structures. So it plays an important role because this one, it creates many different structures for us. Okay, so one of it is the melanocytes. Melanocytes, do you know what is melanocytes?
No.
Melanin?
The color change, right?
Yeah. So melanocytes is the colors given to your skin. Dark, fair, some kind of thing, right? That is the melanocytes. And then it also differentiate into adrenal medulla. Do you have any idea about adrenaline? Adrenal medulla. Adrenal medulla, basically it's the inner part of the adrenal gland. Adrenal gland is it is located on your kidney.
Okay.
Okay, so it releases the hormone known as adrenaline. It releases the hormone called as adrenaline, which will be released during very like a serious situation where sometimes it is known as fight or flight. Let's say
What is it, fight or flight?
let's say you're being chased by a dog. You won't run that fast, but when you are chased by a dog, you will run a bit more faster than usual.
Yeah.
So that is due to the release of adrenaline hormone.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the one,
Medulla.
adrenal medulla. Then neural crest cell differentiate into dorsal root ganglion. Dorsal root ganglion is in your spinal cord, and it is a cluster of sensory neurons. It's basically the neuron. Okay, and it also differentiate to make a layer for your brain.
Oh, okay.
And also this one helps in formation of muscles and bones for your head and neck. Okay. So this is neural crest cell differentiation. So now moving on to the spinal cord development. Spinal cord development basically happens at the cross section. Okay, this is our neural tube, right? Neural tube.
Yeah.
Here is the cranial, and the below part is the caudal. So the upper part is all about the brain and all related to that. The middle, the below part caudal is for your spinal cord. So your spinal cord is developed at the caudal. Spinal cord. So cross section of neural tube at the caudal looks like this. It has the marginal zone, mental zone, and neuroepithelial zone. So the cells in the neuroepithelial zone, it will proliferate and become neuroblasts, and then the neuroblasts will develop and become neuron in your spinal cord. Okay, so this is the development of spinal cord.
Okay.
So that's it for today. So we have learned about neurulation, vesiculation, and the neural crest differentiation migration, and also the formation of spinal cord. So that's it for today. Thank you. So do you have anything to say? Do you understand?
Okay. So I understand the both version, the
Mhm.
neurulation and vesiculation.
Mm-hmm.
So neurulation is actually a formation for the nervous system,
Mm-hmm.
and vesiculation is the formation of the brain. So I also have learned the formation of the neural plate to neural tube.
Yes. I'm so happy.
So I understand the part.
Mm-hmm.
So roughly I understand what you're talking today, and it was interesting too.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.